Hi, this is Miss Wondolowski, or Miss Wando. I am the band and choir teacher at Lincoln Park Middle School. Today for N is for music notation. I thought I would read The Really Awful Musicians with story and pictures by John Manders. Yuck! Once upon a time, in a kingdom amazingly far away, music sounded incredibly, well, bad. The king couldn't even stand to listen to his own royal musicians. One at a time, they weren't so awful, but together, they sounded horrible. In an out-of-the-way village, little Piffero played a tune on his pipe. Poot, 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 poot. Thumb, 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 went his drum. But the royal men-at-arms found his hiding place. Help me, Charlemagne, Piffero whispered to an old dray horse grazing nearby. The horse's name wasn't really Charlemagne, but he liked the sound of it. He was proud of his mane. Piffero vaulted onto his back, and off he rode into the night. I, Espresso, am the fastest musician in the kingdom. Fast, 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 blurted the mandolin player. I can play a 3-minute waltz in just under 12 seconds. We're escaping from the king's soldiers if you want to come with us, said Piffero. On they rode. Piffero's pipe went poot, 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 poot. Thumb, 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 went his drum. Espresso's mandolin went diddle, 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 diddle. As the sun rose, Piffero, Charlemagne, and Espresso noticed a teeny tiny wee little tune that was almost too soft to hear. Plinky, plinky, plink, plinky, plinky. It was a little musician playing a tiny harp. I'm Serena the Silent, she whispered. I hope I'm playing quietly enough. What? Asked Charlemagne and Espresso. Come with us if you don't want to be an appetizer for the royal crocodiles. So on they rode. Piffero's pipe went poot, 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 poot. Thumb, 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 went his drum. Serena's tiny harp went plinky, plinky, plink, plinky, plinky. Espresso's mandolin went diddle, 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 diddle. Around noon, they were nearly knocked over by sound waves. Womp, wompa, womp, womp, womp! The sackbut player paused for a breath and said, Congratulate me! I, Fortissimo, won the loudest musician in Boomberdy Award this morning. But Boomberdy is at least 3 days' voyage from here, said Charlemagne. That's what makes it so impressive, boomed Fortissimo. Jump in the cart, sighed Piffero, and on they rode. Womp, 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 went Fortissimo's sackbut. Piffero's pipe went poot, 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 poot. Thumb, 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 went his drum. Serena's harp went plinky, plinky, plink, plinky, plink. Espresso's mandolin went diddle, 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 diddle. A few leagues down the road, they almost flattened the slowpoke inching along in front of them and going, Bwah. Can't you go any faster? Asked Charlemagne. No, replied Lugubrio sadly. I started playing this particular piece when I was a boy, and I'm just now starting the middle section. Well, climb aboard. The king's crocodiles are hungry already, said Piffero. On they rode. Womp, 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 went Fortissimo's sackbut. Bwah, went Lugubrio's contrabass recorder. Serena's harp went plinky, plinky, plink, plinky, plink. Piffero's pipe went poot, 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 poot. Thumb, 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 went his drum. Espresso's mandolin went diddle, 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 diddle. All afternoon they played as they rode. They played fast, slow, loud, and soft, all at the same time. Finally, Charlemagne couldn't stand it anymore. Enough! You guys sound terrible. Why don't you all play together? The musicians stopped and looked at each other. Then at the horse. Charlemagne drew 5 long lines in the dirt. These lines are us riding along. I'll make hoof prints on the lines to show high notes and low notes. The high notes will be up here, the low notes will be down here, and the middle notes will be in the middle. I'll mark time with this stick so you'll know when to play the next note. They looked at Charlemagne's hoof prints and followed his stick. While they played, each musician listened to the others. When they all played together, the music sounded beautiful for the first time ever. And then the king's coach came barreling down the road. "Halt!" cried the king. "Do I hear musicians?" Before the men-at-arms could grab them, Piffero, Espresso, Serena, Fortissimo, and Lugubrio started to play together. The men-at-arms applauded. "Gadzooks, how lovely!" cried the king. "How would you like to play at my castle?" "You won't feed us to your crocodiles?" asked Piffero. "Not if you play like that," decided the king. "They can eat the mimes." And so Piffero and his friends became the king's musicians in residence, and beautiful music was heard everywhere from then on. Author's note: some things in this story are almost true. When the real Emperor Charlemagne, which means Charles the Great, came to power in 800 AD, each choir throughout the empire in Western and Central Europe sang music differently. They'd sing the same words of a hymn, but every church had a different tune. Charlemagne thought it would be a good idea if all the choirs sang from the same songbook, and so his minister, Alcuin of York, came up with the idea of musical notation. That is, writing down the notes of a tune. When the notes are written down, you can create a musical piece with more than one melody being played at the same time. It's notation that makes it possible for composers to write symphonies for large orchestras, as well as all of the music that we play and sing all throughout our lives. So again, that was The Really Awful Musicians, who didn't end up being so awful in the end, with story and pictures by John Manders. I hope you enjoyed it.